I'm going to be explaining every single face tracking blend shape and how to make them. So first we have look left and look right, which are separated into eye look out and eye look in. So this would be look that way. This would be look that way. So for these, I usually hide the irises, and then I go into sculpt mode, and I use elastic deform, specifically this, and make sure it's not masking anything. Elastic deform has a softer fall off than grab. You see how specific grab is versus elastic deform, even at a smaller setting. And then I have left and right vertex groups to split these up. After that, we have eye look up, which I usually go in with elastic deform again, pull this up. Maybe on a smaller setting, I pull up the lower cheeks, but you don't want to pull them up too much. Eye look down. You mostly want to pull down the upper lid, and then you can lightly pull down the lower lid, but don't go too extreme on it. I blink left and blink right, fairly self-explanatory. I squint left and squint right. Oh. This actually has a small problem and it affects the iris. It should not do that. But as you can see here, it moves up the lower lid to the right here. And it also presses down this upper lid and a little bit of the eyebrow. This is used for like happy smiling expressions. So again, I use elastic deform here usually. I wide left and wide right. Usually want to pull up the upper lid a whole lot and maybe the lower lid down a little bit. Most avatar bases will have something like this that you can already reuse. Brow down left and down right, you just want to bring them down and have them in a slightly angry looking position. Brow inner up, you want to bring up the insides of the brows so they're in a bit of a sad looking position. Then we have nose sneer. If you can, I would not recommend having the effect on the eyes very visible or have it none at all. I would also not recommend doing anything too dramatic for this besides making the nose push upwards and inwards a little bit, because this blend shape actually gets activated quite a lot. And if you cause any like wrinkle lines here, it won't look that good. So we have cheek squint, which it moves the cheeks here upwards. And I found the best way to do this is to turn on eye squint. And then you use that to push up the cheeks. Because the eye squint mostly pushes up the eyes, and then the cheek squint gets activated, and it moves those up. So I also use elastic deform for this. This shape key is really important for smiling and stuff. I would not skip it. Cheek puff, fairly simple. You just blow up the cheeks. I would go for more extreme over less extreme with this because it's really hard to get it to 100% with face tracking. So jaw open is basically like your AA blend shape that most avatars have. And then for mouth closed, this is meant to be created in conjunction with jaw open. It closes the mouth while the jaw is open. On this avatar, it doesn't fully close, but in-game it does fully close, because there's some combination of blend shapes that I had to adjust it to be open for, so it didn't clip. But when you're first making this, I would recommend making sure it fully closes. Jaw left and jaw right, you are translating your jaw on the x-axis. You are not rotating it. With my proportional editing, I had it so it affected the cheek corners a little bit. But you do not want it to be really affecting the lips. It's a movement of the jaw, not the lips. And then jaw forward, it's kind of the same. It pushes your jaw forward on the y-axis. Mouth roll upper and mouth roll lower I would not consider essential for good looking face tracking. It's you can use it for sort of lip bite expressions. But these were very annoying to make, and I would not consider the time it takes to make them worth it for what they add to the tracking. This movement is basically when you suck your lips into your mouth, so you don't have any lips showing. Mouth funnel is basically like a CH or an OO shape key, but it does not move the jaw at all. It only moves the lips. So you really want this to be very smooth here. Mouth pucker, it presses the lips together in the center for the puckered look. Mouth upper up and lower down. These are meant to be, when all combined, it's an E shape. And again, these do not move the jaw at all. One trick I learned is when you're splitting these into left and right, you do not want a sharp cutoff at the center here. It needs to be smooth. So on your left and right groups, you need to take your blur tool and smooth it out like that. And yeah, when these are all combined, they make an E shape. Mouth left is basically like you're putting your lips to the side. This does not translate the jaw at all. This only moves the lips. So I'm going to open the jaw here. And you can see how the teeth don't move at all here, but when we move the jaw, now the teeth move, because the jaw itself is moving, but not the lips. And here, the lips are moving, but not the jaw. And then we have smile left and smile right, fairly explanatory. You just smile. Frown left and right. These ones do not get activated very often, but I would still recommend having. I would recommend testing this out with your other shapes to make sure that it does not cause any too extreme of deformations. Usually frowns is where I get bad looking lip sync if the frown shape is too extreme. Mouth stretch left and right, it basically pulls the lip corners out and is more of a neutral expression if your avatar is naturally smiles. Mouth shrug, you don't need mouth shrug upper, you just need to title this lower. And you basically like pull up the lips like this. Mouth press is, it's basically like a shape, and you just press them together until they're kind of flat. And finally, we have tongue out, which is very self-explanatory. I would make sure that tongue out looks okay with jaw open and that it's not being weird. And yeah, that's basically a very basic explanation of how to make all of the AR kit shapes.